Welcome back to the tutorial, and here I'm going to show you to create a shade chart that is actually creating a new shades which are not there in our watercolor palette. So we have the limited shades, limited colors in our watercolor palette, and if we mix those two colors we are getting a new shade. So which two colors we have to mix and what shade we are getting, just to explore that, let's create a shade chart out of 8 watercolor pens. Now we have to make a grid of 64 boxes, 8 rows and 8 columns. As we are using 8 shades, so we just want to make sure that each color will be mixed with another color. So like that, total 64 different shades we are getting. Now you see our grid is having like 16 boxes, and if you divide each row and column into half, we are getting the 64 boxes. Okay, so if you see here, the matching between the rows and columns will give you the idea of mixing the color together. Like in the first row and first column, the red is coming with red, so it will be a pure red color. Second, for example, in the row we are having orange, and in the first column we are having red, so we have to mix orange with the red, so it will give you some shade. So it will be very easy for you to understand which color we have to mix with which color by this grid method. Now our first row and first column is having a red color, so this will be the pure red shade from your palette. After red, the second column in the same row is having a combination of red and orange. So mix a little bit of orange with the red and apply that shade. Next we have red with yellow, so we have to take fresh red and add a bit of yellow in that, and it will create a lightish orange kind of shade. Next we have the red with green. So take a little bit of red and mix green in that. One thing we just have to keep in mind, like whenever we are making a shade chart and we are creating a new shade, always take the fresh color. Like here we are using the red row and we are mixing the red color with all different colors. So take fresh red every time and then mix the other color in that. So by this we are getting the actual shade of two colors. Like same way we have to do for all other colors, for violet, brown and black. While using black, we have to be little careful because black is a very dominant color. So if you are mixing black with any color, use a very little amount of that. Otherwise it'll look dirty and it won't give you the feel of the original color. Now we are done with the first row, that is with the red color. The same thing we have to follow for all other colors in the row. Like we mixed red with all other colors, now we have to mix orange with all other colors. Before moving to the second row, it's always good to wipe off your palette with the tissue, so you will be getting a more space to create another shades. Let's move to the second color, that is orange. Now here we have to take care of one thing. Start always your matrix by using the pure color. So you have to see the place where you have to use the pure orange. That is, check your orange color in the row as well as orange color in the column. So where it is like intersecting, that place you have to color it first with the pure shade. After this, we can just move on like what we did for the previous row, mixing the orange with little bit of red and so on. So like this, keep creating different shades by mixing different colors and enjoy the process. The only thing, whenever you are starting a new row, start with the pure color first, then mix another colors and keep going. At last we will use the pure black color, and just take care of one thing, as we have discussed already. If you are mixing black color with any other color, take a very little amount of that, because the transparency and the neatness and the freshness will go if you add more black color into the particular color. So always avoid using direct black color into any shade, because now you have your shade chart ready. So if you want any darker shade, you will be having an idea, like instead of adding black, you can add brown, or you can add green or blue to get a darker shade of particular color. So it's always recommended and always advisable not to use pure black or pure white into the watercolor paintings, because if you use white, the transparency of the watercolor will go, and if you use black, the neatness and the freshness of the color will go. So don't use pure black and pure white to mix with another color. Just try another shades to get the darker tone or the lighter tone of the particular color. Like this, our shade chart is almost ready, and it's looking very beautiful and satisfying. This is actually a very good exercise and a very good process to understand your palette, to understand your color mixing. And this is looking so beautiful just by taking 8 colors. So now if you're having, for example, more colors, and if you want to make a bigger matrix, it will look really beautiful, and it will be very useful also to refer. Like if you want to take any shade, or if you want to know what colors I have to mix to get the particular shade, in that case you can use your shade chart as a reference. And if you want to write the name of your color, that also you can do it. Otherwise, the rows and columns will give you the idea of what 2 shades you have to mix to get the particular value. In next section, we will look at the different watercolor techniques and what are the different tools which we can use to make our watercolor work more creative and interesting.